Welcome to episode 10 of Beyond the Veil podcast and also Tengu Tribe podcast. I'm your host, obviously fucking Tengu, and
Tribe.
fine. So, we haven't done one in a while. I'm not going to go through the whole kind of, we haven't done one and this is going to be ready, we didn't do one. So, anyway,
Yeah, deal
next,
with it.
next thing.
Kidding. Next.
So this week has been a bit crazy. So I just want to talk about a few little things first. So near the beginning of the week, I think Ozzy Osbourne died, and I'm like, I wanted to say something here. Okay, so we know Ozzy was fucked off his head on drugs, but he had also been opened up to some crazy shit, and he actually almost tried to kill his wife Sharon at one stage. That was from the drugs and stuff getting in. So when you're taking a fuckload of drugs, it can let a lot of shit in. But
Mhm.
we're not going to talk about the bad shit he done. I just wanted to say R.I.P. Ozzy, and yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. Nothing special. He no, in saying that, I did think it was funny that people would post about him who've never actually fucking listened to his music, and
Yeah,
that
man.
kind of made me laugh.
Yeah, Tengu messaged me about, well, not only him, because if anyone knows, Tengu's brought up a story about um wrestling before.
Hmm.
So Hulk Hogan also died. Rest in peace, whatever.
Rest in peace, Hogan.
Um, hmm And there's patterns, like of course patterns and everything. And Tengu messaged me about how all these people were, and it's even funny because I don't know anything about Hulk Hogan. I
Hmm.
respect after death,
Yeah,
even if he did say this or that about black people. There's so many black people who loved him, and
yeah.
not black people, like ethnic people, not just white people, who are saying rest in peace, and people were having a problem with that. But the thing is, people only care when someone dies, and
Yeah.
so no one was talking about how racist he was, or like kind of like people are literally programmed, and this is another divide and conquer tactic that they do, like over someone's death, because the people who post about it have to get paid, you
Hmm.
know. So if you see, so even like news networks, so many
Yeah.
pages about it, they are trying to push, um yeah, fucking, what's it called, agenda.
Hmm.
So I just think it's really 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 messed up, and I don't mess with people, and I don't fuck with like people who can't say something
Hmm.
whenever it's right in front of our faces. If anyone wants to talk about Ozzy's um occult stuff, his satanic stuff, I think that they should just shut their mouth because they didn't want to say anything whenever he was awake. I don't know if he had anything to do with sacrificing or in babies and stuff, but I don't even care. Don't mention it because you didn't, like,
Hmm.
people wait till then to talk about it, maybe a little bit, and then
Yeah.
they will talk about kids again. Like it'll just be for
It's
like shares.
It's the thing. I don't know why people like. I used to wrestle years ago, right? So wrestling. I'm talking a little bit. We're going to get onto the topic of Black Eyed Kids soon. I just want to talk a little here. We know Hulk Hogan had his fucking problems and shit like that, and he did say some nasty shit. But I'm not going to speak ill of someone that's dead now. Like you say, people didn't say shit when he was alive anyway.
Hmm.
And also, I think I found so funny, like when the wrestling went to Netflix a couple of months ago back, he was on it and he came out and the whole crowd booed him. I'm like, they booed him there, right? But then I think yesterday or today or something like that, the company had a memorial for him and everyone's like, oh, thank you, Hogan, and all this shit. It's just like,
Yeah.
what are these people? Like, you fucking booed the dude when he was alive. So you have to wait
Yeah.
for the dude to die before you'd fucking say, oh, you know. It's just people are so fucking fake. It's just unreal. I just wanted to put that out there. But anyway, rest in peace to both of those guys. And now onto the topic at hand. So I wanted to talk about, seeing as we talked a little bit about demons and shit like that, I wanted to talk about black-eyed kids. So what exactly are black-eyed kids? It was an old years ago, around 2009 to 2011, there was like people saying they had sightings of them and stuff like that. So the thing is, they're like kids who roughly, I think they were aged between 6 and 16 or something like that. And they would kind of knock on your house and ask to come in. Their eyes would be so weird, like literally the whole pupil would be black. It's like, when you watch Supernatural and you see demons, they have the black eyes.
Hmm.
Their eyes would be pure black. And when the people would open the door to them, they would get this kind of feeling of fear and horror and what like terror. It would then they kind of would say, "Oh, can we come in? Can we come in?" So that's an interesting thing because I've heard this before. Can you come in? It's like it's the same with vampire mythology and stuff like that. A vampire has to be invited in
Yeah.
to your property or your land before it can actually do what it needs to do. The
Mm-hmm.
same thing is with these things. Now, they could be many things. They could be demonic, they could be hybrids, they could be like little gray aliens in disguise and stuff like that. Just so many things they could possibly be.
Yeah.
But I was looking at some story that this person had. I can't remember what state it was. It was in America, and they said that these two little kids that looked like a girl and a boy who had white hair and black eyes were knocking on their house, and she opened the door. She said it was roughly around 2 or 3 in the morning, which is kind of creepy as it stands, kids at the door at 2 or 3 in the morning. And like at the start, I was like, "Oh shit, is everything okay? Like, did someone have an accident? Because at that time, if someone's knocking on your door at 2 or 3 in the morning, like obviously there could have been a car accident, the car could have broke
Mhm.
down, or something could have really nasty happened." So the two kids were there and saying they need help. Can they come in? They kept kind of repeating, "Can they come in? Can they come in?" So the woman, she didn't really quite see their eyes at that stage, and she brought them into the house. Yeah, this gets fucking weirder. Because when she brought them into the house, they started talking to her and they asked her to do things. So they asked her to get her food, get them food. So they'd go off and she'd go off and get the food. She said she couldn't control herself. They had
Mm.
full control of her. They made her bring them food, all this stuff like that, and she had her family in the house as well. So the weird thing is, it got weirder through the night. Like they kept demanding things, and the family, her husband and whoever was upstairs was still in bed and didn't seem to hear or see anything at that stage. And then I think a few hours later, they kind of left the house and vanished. She said they vanished off into the dark and she didn't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, she went upstairs and everyone in the house had died.
What?
And they didn't know how or what happened to these people. They had died, and when she got there, she called the police and the ambulance and stuff like that. And the coroner and stuff came in. And to make it short, basically, what happened is they had said that these people died at the exact time that the kids came into the house.
Damn, did they say natural
They said
causes?
natural causes, which is weird. She didn't specify exactly how they died, but it was just like it happened. It's such a strange thing that happened around that time that these kids came
Yeah.
in.
Mm-hmm.
So the color black is associated with death. Most cases, like the Grim Reaper, he comes in a black cape and usually has a skeletal face, and that's kind of looks like it's kind of platformed like at that stage when I heard that story I was like that to me that sounds like they were like demonic or some sort of soul harvesters or something like that.
Possibly, but also I always love to look at the fact that just like what was brought up in my labs and different projects that had made genetic hybrids.
Hmm.
Um, and if anyone doesn't know, some gray aliens, if you want to look at the small grays with big heads and the big almond
The most
black eye,
common one.
yeah, and just think how like big they are. Like they're used just like a bee to
Hmm.
go out and harvest. They're like harvesters and stuff. And um, if something would happen or the government like got a hold of those androids and made any of them themselves to get
Hmm.
what they need, I feel like what would you least expect to be harmful? And it would be a child. So that's probably why they would want to dress up in a child. And the eyes could be, yeah, related to um yeah, demonic entity,
Hmm.
or just like how some of the different races have black eyes, but they're actually like retinal lenses, like
Hmm.
so you can see in the dark, because these kids are always walking in the dark and stuff. So it might be like similar to that. So it could be, yes, demonic, it's something sent by aliens or even something sent by the government. And it could seem like Yeah, like I didn't expect people to die, so
Yeah, that
it
was a weird
was like a
storyline.
Reaper, yeah, Reaper moment, but I don't understand why.
Yeah, and
They were probably just like making her or like having her do stuff
mhm.
so they whatever something
They
else
had
was going
control.
to kill them. Yeah.
They had control. Now that was the one. That was one where the people passed, and then a similar thing happened in, I think it was the UK. Similar thing happened. Now no one died, but a lady was. It was, she got up. It was usually it's always a lady. I don't know why it's always a lady. Why is the husband not getting up and checking the fucking door? If someone's knocking at the door at 3 in the morning, you got to send your man downstairs, and
Yeah.
he's got to
Ladies
sort.
are
He's got to
always-
sort that shit out, you know.
yeah.
But anyway, she went down, and her family again, same thing, same scenario. They were upstairs. They were in bed. The two kids, like I think they were similar. Not they didn't have white hair this time. I think they just had normal hair, and they had the black eyes, and they had a whole black kind of outfit and stuff like that. The clothing looked like they were old, kind of older, kind of like say Victorian or something like that. So not modern and stuff like that. So she kind of opened the door and let these ones in. And the same kind of thing happened again. They kind of demanded things and she brought these things to them and stuff like that. But the weird thing about this case is that these ones, after a couple of hours, they said, "Oh, we have to go now. Our father wants us," and then they just left. Like
Yeah.
it was weird. It was just like mindless that they left. And the next day, her whole family had got really ill, like with like some really kind of like some sort of weird flu symptoms and couldn't get out of bed and stuff. They didn't die, but they were quite sick for days. And also the kids in that house said they kept having nightmares about these kids with black eyes coming in and taking their souls and stuff like that. And that was it, as they had fever dreams. So there's another weird kind of scenario, not the same as the first one, similar in the kind of, that's another
Yeah,
kind of
there
event.
it just mentioned Echo Shade, which was like one of the or Oracle skins. They were
Hmm.
some of like the dreaming projects, and Black Eye Children could have been used in those for different things, most certainly, just like any other entity or being.
Hmm.
Because even looking at all these things, even if it looks like a child, you would have to think something's taking over its vessel, or they could just have they could clone vessels, they
Hmm.
could grow vessels in a day if they wanted to, and then just do a consciousness transfer,
Yeah.
just to get a job done. Maybe sometimes like because I not that I've heard positive stories, they've always been weird, but I've
Hmm.
heard many stories where somebody has invited them in, but they didn't die or anything. It was just something similar to like
Hmm.
it was very off and weird, and then they left.
Yeah.
It would go. So I just don't know if maybe they're out doing something, and if they need to refuel anyway, because I'm not
Hmm.
sure how they eat. But if they are going and asking usually for food and stuff, I would
Food, yeah.
yeah that they have to eat. Maybe I'm not sure,
No,
but
in saying that they have to eat, but then it could be just a show. They don't necessarily need the nutrition just to make it
yeah,
look like they're such unusual things now. I even heard tales of the more you talk about these things, the more likely you're gonna see them. And I hope we're not gonna see them, but like it's just apparently they're kind of the things that the more you speak about them, the more chance you are to see them. But there was
yeah,
a lot of sightings of them around in 2011, 2006 to 2011. And even some people said from 1998 and 1999. So weird time frames. But lately now I've been looking up and I haven't seen any kind of recent cases.
yeah,
So it's just weird that they were kind of then and now there's not
yeah.
really much
Makes me
else about them.
makes me question if it was a government project
Mm,
because
it,
those ones always like just like fucking cow mutilations and stuff like that. Things
yeah,
like, and even abductions now, like when Eisenhower signed the deal, the government abducted people. They pretty much have gotten everything that they needed. That's why abductions aren't. You don't hear about
you
abductions
don't
anymore.
hear it much,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, the aliens got their genetic needs, but then the government they did worse shit to their own people than what some of these other aliens did.
Mm. It's a thin line between alien and like an entity of sorts, a demonic entity of sorts. It's hard to say which is which. Because some of the stories there of her, the first one sounds like something demonic. The next one, the people getting sick, is just a bit weird.
Yeah, that seems like Supernatural. That's what I see on
Mm,
Supernatural. And the demons on there, like, and like to show you they're a demon, they like make their eyes black. So that does make me think of even asking you if I can come in isn't just giving you consent to come in the house. It's almost
mhm.
giving you consent to invade your space and do whatever you want. So once you do that, maybe like that it gets them a deal to take some schools,
Exactly.
like the first one, or and then I mean if they're on like missions, they could be told to get out if like they rush out of somewhere like real quick. Maybe, like
Another weird thing about them, apparently they show no emotion. Like they're emotionless.
yeah,
They don't show anger, sadness, scare, joy. It's just a kind of almost like a robot, like emotionless. Like
yeah.
as how people would describe the gray aliens,
I was gonna
emotionless.
say it makes me wonder if they're just like the gray beehive
Hmm.
species, but maybe just suited up as children so
Yeah,
that
like
they're
it could be an illusion type of
yeah.
technology, which is
Mhm.
not uncommon. You can make someone look like something else as like
Oh
illusion
yeah,
and stuff like that. So
yeah.
they're weird things. I mean, I've also read cases of people just saying for years, there's been people I'm looking at loads of stories. So this person is saying since they were a kid, they were having dreams. Every night they had the same dream about these black-eyed kids just coming into dreams, like a horror dream, but a horror dream that kept going and going and going. Like
Mm,
for 10, like until they were an adult, they kept dreaming of that thing.
yeah.
And it's the same dream, like over and over again, of these black-eyed kids who kind of enter in their dream and kind of every time after the dream, like when they wake up, they would feel as if something was taken from them. And this has been like up until they're like, I'm reading the stories here, up until they were like in their late 20s, they had these dreams. But
Yeah.
they never physically seen them in the real, like the real world. But every night they dreamt they were there, and every morning they woke, they were more tired than
Yeah, I
when
was
they went to sleep.
yeah, they could be like even if it's like not the same thing,
Hmm.
if physical, but they can take physical form. So if these things do reside in the astral realm, I would assume that they would go just like the Hat Man. It kind of
Oh
reminds me
yeah,
like when we were listening to Bear on like about some of the stuff like mm,
the
yeah,
Hat Man is
that
another.
he's Hat Man and because this is paranormal too.
Hmm.
This would go into the category of being paranormal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like the Hat Man is actually terrifying. I mean, it's always the same. It's full black shadow. He doesn't have eyes,
Yeah.
and it's usually has a top hat, like a tall top hat, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a top hat. Yeah, most of the ones people say that has a top hat, and that he appears in their room and just stands there. Like
Mm.
that would just fuck with you so much. I mean, you wake up, it's just there,
Yeah, I've never
and
experienced that. I experience well now even more like shadow beings
mm,
under some of my eyes, but not just shadow beings. Like I see like we'll see light flashes too. I
yeah.
don't know what they are, but it is said that during sleep paralysis and sometimes whenever you have those beings come to you,
Hmm.
they could be soldiers using a high advanced tech to invade on you and to suck your fucking energy however they want to do it.
Paris, yeah.
Yeah, so, and that's one reason like some of these shadow entities or sometimes they look like if you could visualize what one of the first predators was, how predator would look in the
Yeah.
jungle. He was like a reflective, something like
Yeah, the
that.
kind of the flow
You can't
like water.
see. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's a similar thing. I mean, Shadow Beings, Hat Man, and the Black-Eyed Kids. I wonder if they're all kind of the same thing in a weird way, like an astral entity of sorts.
yeah, well, I know that there's it's like the meth Bible. It's called Fire and Ice, and a guy wrote it who did all this research because he got addicted to meth, and after he got clean, he did like studies on it, and we've talked about this before. When they make drugs, and drugs usually the purest forms come in through the cartel, and I believe our government's in on it. They wouldn't come through without that, but they put spells not only on alcohol, um, they do chants over alcohol, and they do
Yeah.
chants and they attach entities to fentanyl, meth, especially. So that's
Hmm.
why, like, meth heads usually always see shadow people, especially because the chemicals in the brain it's
Hmm.
unlocking like a certain point, and the not sleeping. So that's
Yeah,
what
not
makes
sleeping.
me
That's actually a thing.
yeah, that makes me think that possibly that these things are always around a little bit
Hmm.
sometimes. Like it just takes our perception to be off. I mean, yeah, to see them because
Yeah,
sometimes, yeah.
that is like apparently I've heard of people who have not slept for like days and then they have these crazy, crazy hallucinations. It's almost
Hmm.
as if they're on a drug.
Yeah.
No, it's near impossible to not sleep. People have been able to do it, but I mean, it would really fuck with your mind and stuff like that. And just you'd see it opens up something that you wouldn't usually be aware
Yeah,
of.
especially
Like,
on like I'm talking about too, especially taking meth. Like it's known for that. People who do, will see shadow beings, especially
mm,
if you stay up, and then they'll start to audio hallucinate usually, and such things like that. So
mm,
I think it is and your brain's so powerful. It could be you making up scenarios, but it could be something
mm,
piggybacking off of the drug and the vibrational frequency because you know you're vibrating low, like
yeah,
low when you're like in a trap house, like we talked about how it's like an elemental could be feeding off of everybody like an octopus.
mm,
But yeah, so
yeah. That is yeah. Fucking hell. There is so many different astral creatures, and there's parasitic creatures. And I've listened to another podcast, The Exorcist Files, and we've listened to that one before. It's really cool, really, really fucking terrifying because I listened to one recently and it was about a thing called a bruja. So do you know what a bruja is? A brujeria is like a shaman of sorts, but they're usually Mexican and stuff like that. So the bruja is like in a way is a witch, and people pay her to do. It's similar to say someone doing voodoo, they'll pay you for like a
yeah.
little voodoo bag and stuff like that. Bruja is very similar. But they talked about this one woman who was a bruja and she had like all these animals and stuff like that and she dogs, cats, whatever. She'd use those animals sacrifice
Mm,
for the spirits to kind of make things happen for people and she'd curse people and stuff like that. But the weird thing about this story is her daughter kind of didn't want to follow in the path of brujeria, I think it's called.
hmm.
And her daughter became very Christian and stuff like that and kind of stepped away from it. And her
Yeah.
mother got even more aggressive and crazy in a weird way and started trying to curse her friends and stuff like that. And all this shit happened. And then the thing is with Bruja and stuff like that, or people like similar to her as a Bruja or whatnot, they get quite paranoid. And it's more so that the entities that they call in and by using a sacrificing an animal and stuff like that, you're not going to be getting a positive entity. It's an entity that will definitely give you something,
Look at
but at the same
Hollywood.
time, it's a cost.
Yeah, just like Hollywood and everyone who's
Hmm.
died, just every celebrity who's went crazy and dyed their hair blonde.
Hmm.
That's hit ultra shit right there.
Yeah.
And they are always acting wacky, and
Hmm.
then the media wants to talk about them, and they're on drugs and stuff. It's like the same thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the best point to piggyback or hitch on
Hmm.
someone's mental stability, and then especially if you get them on like some type of drug, like because doing the like and of course we're not giving any medical advice here. This is all
Yeah,
for your
no, no.
good, but like we know that especially antidepressants
Oh
every
yeah.
but like they really really go and hone in on certain specific chemicals in the brain, and it takes like a month for it to even start working. So
Hmm.
those ones are like very and you can't stop an antidepressant, like you have to wean off and everything. So
It's the same as like an addictive drug then.
that's how I think, because I always thought the point of like, because depression, like yeah, I get depressed on and
Hmm.
off. I'm not depressed like I used to be,
Hmm.
and I stopped taking my meds when I moved into this house.
Hmm.
Just felt it I didn't need to take them anymore, and I
Hmm.
think that's how like depression drugs are supposed to work. But people, and I don't know if it's like uh like miseducation on it,
Hmm.
but everybody always says, because I remember telling some girls I was gonna stop it. She was like, I could never stop like
Yeah.
my depressive pills. They help so much. You'll hear people say that, and then they'll say, if I do stop them, then I go crazy. And me, a drug addict, I tell them it's because you've been taking the drug and you're withdrawing. You have to wean
Wean
off.
off it, yeah.
Everybody always just stops their drugs and then they're like, oh my god, I go crazy and I need them again. Well, no, that's not the case. It's just like if I would take fucking Vicodin every day, I have to
Hmm.
wean off that. Like that shit gets in your bones. Like
Yeah, fucking hell.
antidepressants, like that shit
I
gets in your
mean,
brain. Like, yeah, so of course you're gonna go off. And I feel like so many people are just
it's
afraid.
weird with antidepressants, like where I am in Ireland, they prescribe them, but like they rarely prescribe them. They wouldn't kind of hand them out like sweets, which they'll give you a supply that you'll only have a week or two supply, and that's it. You're not getting any more.
Damn.
Yeah, they really cut you off. So they kind of it's just it's a restriction on like us because people. But then of course they
Well,
do
that's
that, but
probably
then
why
people get them
the drug,
illegally anyway.
I was gonna say the harsher you are about drugs and the harder you crack down, the more likely people are to
Yeah,
them in and do them. If you legalize drugs, I truly believe, and there's a study done, all drugs should be legalized. It would lower everything.
they could monitor it as well and put the right stuff into them. I mean, because you like the
That's
stuff
what
on
the
the
doctors
street.
do.
Hmm?
I mean, I just watched a fucking doctor on TikTok say I had somebody come in who's using ChatGPT, and we're at this point where people are going to be able to get their information from something else and
Hmm.
like really trust. So like this girl asked him like some crazy question. He was like, "Yeah, I don't like. It's insane to think that we're going into a whole new thing of understanding medicine, and it's
Hmm.
not the doctors. If anything, people do not trust the doctors because what they just did recently, and
Hmm.
no one's taking accountability. Like it's hard for me to believe, especially as a person on the outside.
Hmm.
And I'm sure you can say this too. We're not fucking scientists, but we knew what was going on with COVID. So like for doctors to not know what was going on and stuff, and with anything else throughout history, like
Yeah, Black Plague. Well, the Black Plague came from rats, but that was a
yeah,
long, long time ago. And like at that stage, doctors weren't really smart, as intelligent as they would be now. Which
yeah.
is weird because when the Black Plague, this is kind of the Black Plague. You know the ones that have those weird masks with the big long
Yeah,
kind of.
they held the sheaths and it was like spray. I think that was depopulation methods by probably a higher
Well,
race.
the weird thing about those masks is, right, those masks didn't really have much protection for kind of anything coming in. So what they did with those masks, I didn't know this. I was looking up history on this. I was like, why the fuck did they wear those big crates? Because imagine that thing coming into you. Oh, you need help, and this motherfucker with this big motherfucking beak looking thing comes in. That's kind of fucking scary the shit out of you. Anyway, to begin with. But in those masks, on the very end of the mask, they used to put in all these kind of herbs and flowery stuff, the kind of scents and stuff like
Boozy
that.
too. Yeah.
They put it in, and the reason was they thought that that would kind of block the plague from coming into the mask, which was like back then people wouldn't be as educated as they were then. So
Yeah.
those masks didn't give much protection at all, and like it was they were still inhaling the shit like that the people were under the
Yeah.
black plague and stuff, which is weird. But I never knew that's why I had that big nose thing.
Oh, me either. I didn't know that's the
Yeah,
reason why.
it was such a
But it's
weird. I
a
was like,
symbol,
hmm?
definitely. It's a symbol of the plague that, and
Yeah,
like your sheath walking with it.
mhm.
And,
And it had very little kind of protection. Stuff could
mhm.
still get in, which is weird. But like a few flowers and herbs is not going to stop an airborne disease getting in anyway.
Yeah, they were. I think what they were thinking is, if you didn't know, ring around the rosie's pocket full
Yeah.
of that's
Oh
simply
yeah.
because they would put posies in because the smell was so bad.
Yeah, that's it.
So
Exactly.
what they were probably thinking is, if I can't smell it so bad that I'm not inhaling it, that's probably
Yeah, it's
good enough.
crazy. Yeah, that's exactly what that song is about.
Yeah,
It's literally it's a tissue all fall down means dead.
dead from the
Yeah,
plague.
like it's such a that's a children's rhyme. And it's like when you think back, it's
All
actually
of them
fucking
are bad.
creepy.
like row, 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 your boat. All of those songs are so
Oh
good.
yeah, it's just fucking crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, is anyway that was mad. That was crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. But yeah, I mean, back on the subject of I was talking about that Exorcist file thing. So I was saying that woman, her mother, kind of kept cursing her and her friends and cursing other Brujas because in her head she thought the other Brujas were cursing her. But the truth is they weren't. Like as a party in this, when they get into this phase, they get
Hmm.
super paranoid
Oh
because the
yeah,
demon on the demonic forces and stuff like that around are kind of saying,
it
"Oh,
could be guilt
that,
too, not just a demon. Like
hmm
I people who have tried work on me and who do like a little
yeah,
bit. It has always backfired because I don't do anything I don't need to, you know.
hmm
So if like the paranoia alone of them thinking, especially because I'm black, they might think it is voodoo or she does voodoo or she does
hmm
like stuff like that. So the paranoia will, alone in itself
It's
will eat you alive
this is
because you're guilty.
literally the demon things had been putting this into her head. So eventually she agreed to get an exorcism, and she was exorcised. But when the priest called the demon out, it came forth and it gave a name. It said it was older than the God and the Jesus. So and it was just so, and it gave it the weird thing about this demon. It gave its name at the start. Most demons try to keep their name quiet because if you have their name,
Yeah, you can
you can
bind
kind
them.
of cast them out. But
Hmm.
this one was so, it seemed the one that was possessed, this lady, seemed quite arrogant that it could just gave its name and like, I am bloody, bloody, bloody. I can't remember its name, but it was some crazy, crazy name. And it was like, I've been here before Christ was crucified and all this shit. It kept going on. Now, a lot of the time, these demonic entities that possess, and when we say demonic, I mean, demonic is a term used by Christians for a demon.
Just a
But,
lower entity.
hmm,
Angels, they say like just angels and demons
hmm,
are hardly any different. One's a high vibrational being,
yeah,
and that does not mean it does not fucking like does not
yeah,
mean do not be afraid of angels.
hmm.
And then demons are low vibrational beings, usually like trickster type
Fix this
things,
up, yeah.
middle, but that does not mean they're inherently bad. Like that's
But
the thing you got to get away from because demonic
the
does
demonic sounds like evil. The thing is that that term is new. That's only came out with Christianity and stuff like that. But before the term demonic entities and stuff, there
Dane.
was creatures, entities, and even gods that would call themselves gods before demons that would do a similar thing to this thing. So those ones would be a kind of an entity of a dark shadow type entity
Hmm.
before the term demon was used. So like I said, that's
Yeah,
used by
exactly.
the church, and like then we have Satan, Lucifer, which is weird because Satan and Lucifer, people
Are
think they're the same thing,
they're different,
but
yeah.
apparently they're two different things,
Mhm.
which is like
And
which is
in
crazy.
any way, it's inverted.
Hmm?
They inverted everything. Like they made Lucifer God and God Lucifer. So everybody's been worshiping
Uh,
unknowingly worshiping Lucifer this whole time. Lucifer just like rebelled again.
hmm.
Yeah, he rebelled, but he wasn't cast down. I guess I just heard this. He wasn't cast down. He walked out of heaven
Yeah.
and fell down. So
Oh,
fallen
then,
angel,
yeah.
people need to understand that means descending. So
Hmm.
like he could have been in a higher realm up in the sky, like but like to descend into a lower plane planet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how some of the gods came in, I think, like
That like
with
that is the case. It could very, and like there has been like ruthless kind of entities before, like before Christianity, before all that. I mean, like we talked about like the Mayans,
hmm.
like what they worshipped, those creatures they worshipped, they required human sacrifice.
Oh yeah, and the Aztecs and everything. Yeah,
And
so much.
and
But
here's the thing,
we
like
still do. We it
this
just
exactly this these creatures, whatever they sacrifice to. They're not gone. I mean, just because that the Mayans, their old times is gone, and like that religion is a dead religion and it's dead and buried.
mm,
The creature that kind of it kind of came from, that's
mm,
not gone. And I mean, like we talked, like you said there, I mean, we know fucking Hollywood is corrupt. I mean, there's not
Oh
like
yeah,
and
and they
big
all they
sacrifice.
they do the inversion and they do the Baphomet. If you ever look at Baphomet, he has a
Hmm.
good head, he has boobs.
Yeah.
That's the inversion of, and this is nothing against trans,
Hmm.
but their agenda with injecting kids before
Yeah.
consent of age and people lying about their sex, whether you're a boy or girl. Like
Hmm.
there's women, trans women out there who are
Hmm.
claiming to be women who are winning medals in women's name, and the opposite
Yeah.
with probably guys. And I think that's just so disgusting. And
Hmm.
that's Hollywood likes to do. Like they like to invert everything and put it right in your face.
And
And then their own children, especially if it's a boy, so they don't have to sacrifice it.
mm,
They may get a girl because usually you have to sacrifice your firstborn son.
yeah,
So,
that's what they could and like these different sacrifices have been going way before Christianity,
oh,
before the
right.
devil and stuff like that. You call it satanic, but technically,
Mhm.
why is it satanic? Because you don't understand what it is. It's probably not satanic in the term satanic is the term they use. Oh,
Yeah,
there was something else I
no.
wanted to say, but I can't remember. Damn, it was something.
Oh, mhm.
Hmm?
Nothing. I was just like, damn, because you
Oh my
forgot what you.
God, yeah, there was something I was like, oh, I had it in my head, and I was like, oh, I want to say that, and I cannot remember what it was. So, what the hell is happening?
know that happens to me all the time. The
Hmm.
pizza thing, thoughts out your head. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was like, that is, what the fuck? It was something I really wanted to talk about. Cannot remember. I cannot remember at all. Why? So we talked about demonic entities, we talked about the black-eyed kids and stuff like that. Recently I've seen videos that there's some sort of, I don't know if these are correct, but there's some sort of giant looking supposed giant craft on its way,
Yep.
but I'm not entirely sure.
I believe craft. Yeah, there's probably craft. You'll keep hearing of craft
Hmm.
coming on the way, especially if they're motherships. But there's
Hmm.
craft cloaked. I just heard like a week ago there was a large craft cloaked in New York City, which is like right in
Really?
Pennsylvania, right here. Yeah, but like you have to be tapped in to know it's there.
Oh,
I could
okay.
I could like point out the window right now. This is what people don't understand. Like there's stuff going around all around us, even if we can't feel it or see it. If I had like maybe those red goggles too that made them
Hmm.
see entities and shit like that, or even
Yeah.
filters, I could bet you there's crafts out here. You could never tell if they were there. You could
Hmm.
always be looking at a craft. It's like blending in with the sky, just like Chicken Little shit. Such
Yeah.
a good movie that was funny.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm really lost for
Well,
what I was trying to.
don't try to think about it too hard. It's not gonna come back.
Oh, I know, and it'll probably come back when the podcast is end. I'm like, ah, here's it is. Here it is. What else? Well, I mean, we haven't talked in a while, and a lot has happened. The disclosure thing, you didn't go to that in the end. You didn't want to go to that, so we could. Has anything happened at that, or? Um,
Yeah. So there's a thing called this event was called Disclosure Now,
mhm.
and it was in Florida. I forget where
Yeah.
exactly, but just to go back 2 years ago, if anyone knows who Billy Carson is, and I talked about him a lot throughout the
Mhm.
podcast. Um, I actually won free tickets to go to the Conscious Awards last year
Uh-huh.
in Florida, and I didn't go.
Uh-huh.
And then this year, I started like because we were doing podcasts and started
Mhm.
doing on YouTube. I found this guy Robert Khalil, and he introduced me to people in the Disclosure Now community,
Mhm.
and they're like all like retired veterans, CIA agents,
Mhm.
people who served in secret space program, who are in Montauk, MK Ultra, different types of my lab
Mhm.
experience. You go through V2K, all that. So for a year now, I was, you know, in that community and just
Mhm.
recently did some interviews and everything. And I decided that, yeah, that's just not for me.
Hmm.
I realized, and this is nothing against anyone, I'm
Hmm.
always going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
I see a pyramid scheme when I see a pyramid scheme, and I feel like it doesn't even have to be just about money, which it seems a lot about money.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, I feel like people are, they just want to, a lot of people, and I'm not just talking about in this
Hmm.
community,
Yeah.
because
No, in general.
yeah, this is a new community I'm dealing with. I was in the music community
Hmm.
before this, and then the gaming community. It
Yeah,
has not.
they're similar.
This
Yeah,
is
they're
just
similar.
another one, and I thought it would be different, but it's just not. So, just what happened that usually
Hmm.
happens to me is people from the community would add me, and because the guy who threw the event was going to pay for me to get down there, like he was the like one throwing the event.
Yeah.
People started adding me, and I thought I was starting to get excited, like I'll make connections.
Hmm.
But as time went on, I shared the shit out of my stuff. Like I love to share,
Yeah,
and
you do. Yeah, definitely.
it's mainly for me and for my digital footprint. But
Uh-huh.
I started to realize that a lot of the people in some of these communities were copying my downloads and what I was writing. Even
Hmm.
um, you don't know this, but even a similar picture that you made that someone probably didn't think you made, they probably think my AI randomly generated it.
Yeah.
They generated a similar image. So I just started seeing, just like any other community in our community, and people are no different. They're vampiric, and they'll siphon off your ideas, your energy. They will add you, and they will surveillance you instead of support. Um,
Hmm.
so it wasn't until the 14th I decided that I wasn't going. And I'm happy with my decision
Hmm.
because there's more to come. Like this is it was weird. Like two people. This is how you know. Question the community a little bit. Two people in the community told me I was going to regret not going. And from coming from a disclosure in a spiritual community, I should never hear that because like
Yeah,
there's
if you don't go, you don't want to go. That's it. Like.
yeah. If I don't want to go, I don't want to go. So
Hmm.
and then I feel like just like when somebody goes to Twitch, when everyone goes to Twitch and they're posting, oh look who I met, and they're tagging each other. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not real love. It's
It's the thing we
fake.
talked about earlier, fakeness. Like people
Yeah.
tracing something that like they would never have even supported before.
Hmm.
Like when I talked about Ozzy and Hulk Hogan, like they never
Yeah.
support these people before, and they now they would because everyone else is doing it. To
Yeah.
kind of
And
like, and this is the
yeah.
problem I have. Like I don't usually call many people out. No, like you're good at calling people out. I don't. I tend to be quiet enough. Now I did recently. I did on my Facebook. I did call out some people. Well, a lot of people because of like, certain things, and even when someone said something like, "There's a wrestler girl I like, Chelsea Green. She's really cool. She's really cool." And she said something, and what she said was harmless, absolutely harmless. Is like political views aside, or something about rest in peace Hulk Hogan. Fairly, that's fair enough. But because she said the stupid thing, political views aside, she started getting people death threats and death threatening her and all this shit.
Probably because she mentioned Hulk Hogan too.
Yeah, but like it's like it doesn't matter about the views of the person. It just makes it just so shows you, like you said, communities. Like there's so many idiots out there
It's the people who claim to be
give a shit
fan.
and then they don't.
Yeah, we join these fan groups or fan
Hmm.
clubs, and how negative they are.
Hmm.
How they're the people to hate on something the most. Like I can't
Yes.
even fuck with Marvel even people who always try to hop on my stuff and try to talk because they read the comic books. Well, cool for you, dude, but there's stuff I'm figuring out like that you must
Hmm.
have like you can't just jump on my stuff and say, "Oh, okay, I read the comic book." Da, da, da. Well, I don't have the comic books ready.
Hmm.
I'm trying to enjoy the movies, and there's
Yeah.
been so many times someone told me, "Oh, you won't like that," like Loki, and that was my favorite one. I'm
It's
like,
so good.
I'm never listening into someone. Like I will watch whatever movie
Hmm.
I watch by myself, even if it takes me a while. Like how Supernatural, I'm watching that right now, and it's
Yeah, that's
perfect.
such a great show, and that shows you like that gives you so much on lore and stuff like that, and demons, angels. I mean, it's even got old gods in it and stuff like that. There's so much in it,
Yep,
which
there.
is it's such a good show. And I mean, I've watched the whole show season up until the end. It was brilliant. I mean,
Yeah,
people bitched and moaned about it in the middle. Oh, it's gone woke and all this shit. Like this fucking term people say.
just
I
like
mean,
super.
yeah, fuck. Speaking of that, that was a really good movie, Superman.
I'm sure. I know. I'm sure it was.
And I'm like, but you have these. Oh,
Red
it's so
Heart
woke. I
or
didn't see anything woke about it.
huh?
I didn't see it as woke. It's just they throw that out there. If oh, it's
Yeah, I
crap,
know.
it's
That's,
woke.
that's what I was making fun of. Like literally, people. This is the thing. Third Eye Tribe, my name,
Hmm.
s- standed for being awake, being awake.
Uh-huh.
I didn't say woke. That's like they like shortened it, but this is another thing they do.
Hmm.
Another CIA term
Hmm.
to to plant into people's head. So now, whenever they see anybody speaking on, I don't even know how it got tied into political
Oh
matters,
yeah, it's just.
like, because yeah, it's just it's insane. Woke is so dumb and like the term, and it makes no sense. Like you're saying Superman's woke is for fucking children. It's for your kid. And that's how delusional some of these grown men and women are. Like, I'd
It's
probably say
true.
more because they were diehard Superman fans. It's not for you. It's for the
It's
children.
yeah, and I mean, I'm not a kid, and I
Well,
liked it.
no, yeah, like even Marvels, like, but even
It's
Transformers SG-1, that is
yeah,
really for kids.
I
But
have to
bro,
watch that.
either way, but if you can't be a kid and watch it,
Mhm.
then don't fucking watch it at all.
Yeah,
Just
I
because you
mean,
grew
that's
up,
the idea is like to go like all the crazy shit that's happening right now. I mean, to go and see like something like Superman, see something like Transformers and stuff like that. I mean, that just kind of gets you away from that
yeah,
stupidness that's out there because at the present there's so much hate and stuff like that, and everyone's hating on other people. Everyone's hating on says something, says someone says something. These said bullshit kind of thing. Hating on that. It's like people have, I've said this before. Everyone has everyone has an opinion.
hmm,
I mean, and also like everyone's like as a whole, you know. It's like,
oh, hmm,
I mean, it's just like I thought it was a good movie, and I have to see that Transformers one. It looks really cool. I haven't
oh,
watched it. I will watch it. It looks really cool
I need to
because
buy.
I would like to know the whole actual origin story of Megatron and Optimus Primus and how they actually because that never in all the other shows and movies you never actually knew the origin.
Their
I think
brother.
it was it was lightly put in one of the games. There was a cool game, Transformer game. I think it was put in that game. But I think that movie kind of shows you how Megatron becomes the Megatron and how him and Optimus Prime kind of separate the parts. Don't spoil it for
Yeah,
me. We know, I know that's going to happen anyway, but I would like to, I have to
yeah.
watch it just
I
to
mean,
understand it.
it's very, very emotional and one of the
Hmm.
best Transformers I've watched. I'd probably put it second, literally, to Transformers One. Probably my
That's
second.
cool.
And the grown people complaining. I was in the, I had my friend take me. I was in the movie theater crying. It was such a
Hmm.
beautiful fucking movie. Like, and you get to see the split of two brothers and understand that whole concept.
Yeah,
Two brothers want, like, it's very emotional and beautiful. There's so much in kids' movies anyway.
there is, and like, well, Daniel people too. It's woke, like they're just people. Opinions
Yeah,
are like arseholes. Everyone's got one. That's what I
exactly.
was meant to say. I mean, yeah, but I thought the Superman movie was good, and I really am looking forward to the Fantastic Four one. Like, they're a really interesting Marvel team, the Fantastic
Didn't
Four.
know
Hmm?
the dude who plays Captain America. I forgot that he played in Fantastic Four. I can't believe they even got away with
What did
Chris
he?
Evans.
I can't. Which
Yeah, he
one?
was playing Chris
Oh,
Evans.
fuck, the old one. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I don't even know how they got away with it because it's both Marvel,
Same
but
dude. Yeah. Oh,
he
fuck yeah. I
still
remember that.
he still
Yeah. Oh, shit. That's
even back
cool.
then he looks great now, but he's aging very well.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, actually, that's true. Actually. Yeah, it is kind
whole
of
video,
cool.
like, oh my God, that's him. And then it makes sense. It's cool to see him in that cocky,
Hmm.
like, oh, I'm flame boy, I'm hot. But then the opposite, like Captain
In
America,
Captain
who's
America, he's very
yeah,
different. Yeah, no, that's cool. The new movie looks really cool. And I like the whole kind of the way it looks like old kind of 60s,
Yeah.
70s. That's really cool because that's when they came out and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And that was that was actually I will go to see that one at some stage.
You should, yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. So I think this was as always, our podcasts are really cool and stuff like that. And I mean, we touched on a lot of stuff. I mean, this was different than most of our other podcasts, wasn't it? Because
Yeah. But we really just wanted to get back,
mhm.
because we're not gonna even gonna get into it, but we're back and we're gonna give you a little video and then we're gonna get into stuff. Tengu's been sick. So
Yeah,
him loving and healing energy and uh definitely we'll be working on some things and
yeah, no,
gonna think about what to we have so much we could talk about coming up next. I think we should talk about next maybe transhumanism and AIs
oh,
and
that
AI
would be good.
jobs and how what's happening
Yes,
because
that would be really good. Yeah,
yeah.
that's a
So
good topic.
if you want to plan for that, even like
Mhm.
within
That would be a good topic
yeah.
because we can see how cool the AI stuff is evolving now, more
Mhm.
so than it has been before. And like, yeah, that's a good one to talk about.
Yeah, it's perfect for right now.
Yeah, no, it definitely is a good one. On that one, this was set. This is the first season of Beyond the Veil,
It's good.
and it's I can't remember what season it is in Tengu Tribe. It's the same thing. So this will be on Spotify, Apple Podcast, as well as YouTube and stuff like that. So, and it
What
actually cool. The cool thing is Spotify
what
does video as
skirt?
well.
I crocheted this cute skirt.
That is cool. I don't know how like
This shirt.
crochet does it take time to do.
Oh, it takes a lot of time. I can flip. I flip this skirt. Sometimes I wear this at the top
Mm.
and that at the bottom, and I did this shirt.
Yeah, no, they're
Oh,
really cool.
I have your I'm hoping you don't. I know you're not going to care that it's freaking pink because I'm going to add to it
Oh,
the mask.
oh, that's cool.
Will you wear pink?
Fuck yeah, of course I would.
Yeah, I was thinking because like your bunny is, but it's gonna be like it's gonna be like not just pink.
No, that's cool. That's
But
cool.
this goes like on the neck and like under the neck, so it'll keep you warm in the winter. And I'll close up the top for your head.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. The time to do those things, the patience to have. I wouldn't have patience to do this.
Yeah, a lot of time and patience, and I have time, so that's
Mm,
something I really want to start doing. Is I want to learn to code. I want to fuck around with my computer and then yeah,
mhm.
start crocheting more.
No, that would be cool.
Yeah,
So this has been the
a
10th
great episode.
episode. It was a good episode. We touched on a few little things.
Hmm.
Um, this will be up in the next day or so. So why am I saying that now? It'll be up in the next day or so. Why would that even say that? Because we know it's going to be up the next day or so anyway, because I'm going to upload it. So from myself, this is a good night. I don't know what time it is there. It's probably 6 or 7 or something in the
Yeah,
evening.
something like that. Good night,
Mm,
guys.
good
Love
night.
you. Peace out.
Peace
Don't.
out.
Just kidding.
Bye.